Howdy folks, and welcome to Brain Rotters. Spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home because we have to talk about Daredevil making his MCU debut. We're also going to talk about if it's the Netflix Daredevil or if this is a new iteration and what his cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home means for this week's Hawkeye episode 6. Stay with me, there's lots to talk about here. For starters, no. Even though he is played by Charlie Cox and dresses the same way right down to the T when it comes to the Matt Murdock from the Daredevil Netflix show, Kevin Feige did an interview a few years back talking about how Marvel Television will not be canon to the MCU. Simply because those shows weren't ever part of Feige's vision. So the Daredevil that is in the MCU right now never had those experiences in the Netflix show, never had those Netflix show experiences, and the same can be said about Kingpin in the Hawkeye show. Speaking of, let's talk about Hawkeye episode 6 and Daredevil's potential cameo. Now, it can't be a coincidence that this past week we get the Daredevil introduction, and only a week after, this week, we get the Hawkeye finale, which will debut Kingpin, who is the nemesis of Daredevil. So, do I think that we will see Daredevil in Hawkeye episode 6? No, but I think it's very likely that Daredevil will be mentioned. See, if Matt Murdock does have his powers, I like to think that he was a vigilante during the 5 years that everyone was snapped, and throughout that time he was going around dismantling Kingpin's operation, similar to how we know that Ronin was doing the same. I don't think Ronin ever ran into Daredevil or anything like that. My point is that I think Kingpin is going to simply mention Daredevil and how Daredevil has been also taking down his operation at the same time. He might say something like, too many vigilantes in the city trying to take down my operation. It's nice to finally catch the infamous Ronin. I don't know how bad guys talk. It'll probably go something like that. Just something that's general enough to imply the fact that Daredevil is operating and is currently a hero in New York City. I think it would be very cool if we got a cameo from Charlie Cox in the uniform. I mean, imagine that the post-credit scene of Hawkeye episode 6 is a tease that Marvel is developing a Daredevil project and we get to see Charlie Cox in uniform. Kind of like how Loki ended with the season 2 tease. Just something like that. Hey, you made this far, you might as well subscribe if you're new to Brain Rotters, as well as hitting that bell for notifications so you don't miss another video just like this one as well. God bless. In that light, a rumor was running rampant a couple weeks ago that Marvel Studios had a Daredevil project in the works, and I think we can more or less confirm that it is happening officially, given that No Way Home showed off that he has his powers when he caught the brick, so there's a story that they're already teasing. There isn't any word on whether or not the project is a Disney Plus show or if it is a movie. My personal opinion is that they make a Daredevil movie, and yes, I know that Daredevil proved that he can function within the confines of a TV show really quite well, and the last time that a Daredevil movie was made, it was terrible in every single way. So if it ain't broke, right? Wrong. I think Daredevil can really turn heads in theaters because he is a complex character and he is more grounded, and the MCU seems to be restricting their recent movies to only affect big multiversal events and big cosmic level threats, and giving grounded characters like Hawkeye, the new Cap and Bucky, just their own Disney Plus shows. But Daredevil is a much larger Marvel Comics character and mostly hangs out with the likes of Spider-Man and has been on the Avengers multiple times. He's simply a character that is worthy of more than just a Disney Plus show. I think Marvel should roll the dice on this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Where do you want to see Daredevil go in the MCU moving forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I want to thank you all so much for subscribing, for watching, as well as liking. Thank you all again. Take care and God bless.